What's up, Ego Hackers? Welcome to the CS Joseph podcast. Today's question, and by the way, I'm CS Joseph. Thanks to Chris for filling in for me from time to time as the Acolyte questions. So there's a lot of them. Plus, every now and then I need to take a vacation. You know, it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. So, he's got my back. He's our community manager. So special thanks to Chris for assisting me. And also, folks, a lot of the answers that we have for the Acolyte videos that we do for Acolyte answers, still the answers that I'm providing. It's just someone else is speaking them. So don't worry, it's still coming from me. So anyway, folks, today's question is, how can a UDSF ISTP woman have a great relationship with an INFP man? Or more to the point, how can she give him more authority and power within the relationship? Now, obviously, UDSF, unconscious developed, means that this ISTP is very accommodating. Subconscious focus means that she is also very humble. And that means she's outwardly accommodating towards other people and outwardly humble. Inwardly prideful, however, and then also inwardly obstinate. So that's kind of how it works. Extroversion versus introversion matters when it comes to interpreting the Octagram, and we're going to be releasing a lot more content related to that in the very near future. We actually do have 2 courses coming around the corner. One is Ego Hacking Your Fear, which is going to be life-changing. It's basically Season 19 2.0, but then also we're going to be doing how to type Octagram, or how to find your Octagram, or find someone's Octagram, basically, and the entire process to follow when it comes to typing them, etc., which is going to be an amazing course that we're going to be having released very soon. Similar to the setup that we had for Ego Hacking by Text, which is available at egohackingbytext.com. So, moving forward. So, an accommodating, humble ISTP woman. Now, typically, from a type perspective, it's pretty easy. Be careful around the extroverted thinking inferior of the INFP in question, right? So, with that in mind, they already have to deal with status and people respecting them. So you have to consistently show respect, which can actually be extremely difficult for an ISTP woman because of their TI hero. TI hero has a tendency of being super prideful, and on top of the fact that the deadly sin of the ISTP is also pride, so it's like they're getting a double helping of pride, and that can suck. That could suck a lot, and that's not something a lot of people realize, or a lot of people are willing to deal with, especially INFPs, because they're so sensitive. Because the ISTP woman who is prideful is content to just share her thoughts and her criticisms at any given time, but it's the INFP that is insanely sensitive to those criticisms. So my first recommendation would be don't criticize your INFP man. Just don't. Because if you do, then you're just going to increase feelings of powerlessness, and those feelings of powerlessness basically are going to get you to a point where then apparently I have no power or authority over this woman inside a relationship. It's really difficult, especially for women in today's society, where they don't really submit to anyone. They don't submit to men. They don't, they're not even conditioned to be submissive. This is a huge problem. Women are also conditioned to not really receive from men either. And as a result, women are consistently leading, especially in relationships, and they have no clue. They have no idea what they're doing. And leading basically means is that when a woman is trying to pressure her man into getting a specific outcome that she wants, and that's really difficult for an ISTP to do, because ISTPs have introvert intuition child. Their whole life is basically based on what they want, right? And that too can be a serious issue. Especially when you're dealing with extrovert intuition parent, and the extrovert intuition parent always has this attitude of hey, NI child, this ain't Burger King. You can't always have it your way, basically. And then, anytime the ISTP is constantly making about them having it their way, like I said, The INFP has to struggle with feelings of powerlessness within the context of their own sexual relationship. So naturally, they're just going to withdraw. They're going to take their time and attention elsewhere. This is going to cause the INFP man to be less devoted to his ISTP woman as a result. And that too ends up becoming a problem. So I recommend not doing that. Seriously, stop doing that. So there's a particular resource actually that I think all women should read, but especially STP women, and also all men should read regardless of their type. But STP women and NTJ women especially need to read Irresistibly Feminine and Worthy Woman by Zach Rody. Now, Irresistibly Feminine helps women understand, like, hey, you need to be more submissive, you need to, like, not lead your man, etc. You need to be capable of receiving from him, and so on and so forth. Whereas Worthy Woman helps deal with women who are extroverted feelers, who have this consistent level of self-deprecation, and how self-deprecation can actually self-sabotage their own relationships. Because if a woman who is an extroverted feeler, like an ISTP, and they have extroverted feeling inferior, and it's like the most sensitive part about them, they often self-deprecate. But because they self-deprecate and their introverted feeling is so low in their psyche, they have introverted feeling demon, they don't have, it takes their whole lives to like literally learn an aspect of, self-acceptance basically. And getting them to a point where they are, very self-accepting is extremely difficult. Like, it's very hard for them, and which I get. I totally understand, but it's not okay for them to live their life like that. Why? Well, when it comes to their relationships with men, it sabotages their relationship. That's why a man who actually ends up committing to a woman to the point of even marrying her, when he does this, it's because he has found her worthy, but she is only found worthy because she treats herself worthy, right? And this is something ISTP women really, really struggle with. And here's the thing, like, an INFP man is not going to be interested in an ISTP woman, especially a UDSF ISTP woman. They typically really are accommodating for other people, which is nice. It's nice that they're so accommodating, but that accommodation can actually blow up in their face and actually cause them to be entirely self-deprecating and actually sabotage their own worthiness, basically their own self-image, basically, in front of the INFP, within the context of the INFP, the relationship with the INFP. And then because of that deprecation, he's not even going to be attracted to her, or even be interested in her, or not even want to marry her or commit to her. Why? It's because he understands his own worthiness. He always wants to be seen as someone who is very powerful. Why would he commit to a woman that just seems so unworthy of him because she doesn't treat herself worthy? And because she doesn't do that, why commit to her? So he's going to commit to the woman who treats herself just as important as necessary as he would treat himself important, basically. And that's what's going to cause an INFP to commit. That's what's going to make him feel powerful and authoritative, because he's like, yeah, I conquered this woman because of my power, and she's a powerful woman, but I got more power than her, basically. She's a worthy woman, but I'm even more worthy than her, which technically would be true. Because women have to preserve their beauty, whereas men have to build value, basically. And beauty fades, but value keeps going up, especially as men age. That's why, the old adage, men age like fine wine, but women age like milk, basically. And, it's because, they're born with value, and they have to work hard to preserve that value their whole life. Whereas, men are born with no value, and they have to work hard to build that value their whole life, right? And that's the entire point. That's the entire point behind it. But yeah, that's literally the answer. Like, take the content that's within Zach Rody's Irresistibly Feminine, so that you as a masculine ISTP woman can learn the secrets of using feminine energy to make your INFP man feel powerful, basically, while simultaneously making sure that you are treating yourself like a worthy woman in his eyes. Because the more worthy you treat him, the more effective your relationship's going to be. Not only is he going to be diehard loyal to you because you're just going to be a rare woman. I mean, think about it. A masculine woman, which is, naturally masculine women, which are STP women and NTJ women, finding women like that, but are actually have the learned behavior of being feminine, means that they are the rarest of all the women, which means they are the women that would be in the absolute highest demand from SI user men, okay? Especially INFPs. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's really important, because don't forget, like, the most valuable resource other than time in all of the world, and what really makes the world go round, it's not money, it's attention. Attention is what makes the world go round. And the thing is, though, is that whoever has attention has all of the power, right? You can be an NI user and want and have desire and try to give someone an experience, but it's the SI user that has all of the power to decide whether or not they want to share in that experience with you. It's kind of like in a communication, who has more power, the sender or the responder? The responder has all the power, and the responder is the one who has to make the choice whether or not to receive the message or even respond to the message. And they can choose not to respond. They're the ones who have all of the power, right? Like women who give you their phone number, but then they don't answer your text, for example. That's the point. It's all about power, basically. And it ends up becoming like a power game. And no one understands power more than INFPs, right? Well, here's the thing, though. Introverted sensing as a function is a source of attention. And you can it's kind of like how people say, well, you have to earn respect. Respect is earned. No, it's not. Respect is not earned. That is bullshit lie. Respect is only given. Love is only given. You can't earn those things. I could work hard under my dad for 20 years trying to earn his respect, but I won't earn it. He has to choose to give it to me. That's why it is only given, right? The same thing goes with attention from an INFP, or any SI user for that matter. They have to choose to give you attention, regardless of your performance. So if you want to make sure you have the highest chances of getting their attention, this is why introverted sensors always have way more power in relationships than NI users, and that's a fact, because they can always leverage their attention over the NI user any day of the week. And that's literally what INFPs do. INFP men leverage their attention specifically with the NI user women that they have sexual relationships with. That's a fact. That's literally how they live life. That's the point. That's what it means, right? Anyway, that definitely answered that question. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.